Alrighty, hi everyone, this is Ion Blaze. I'm going to be showing Ayonic, the gear I have, just prior to Kunark dropping, which will happen in a couple hours here. It's on June 5th at the time of recording. I want to show the gear that I have and the plans that I have for playing Ionic, what I'm planning on doing. So, let's get started, shall we? One thing from the parcel merchant. Okay, so what are my plans? Alright, so come Kunark, I'm going to be raiding extensively with Ayonic, as he's my main. Plans, yeah. I'm going to get him to 60 first. I think what I'm looking at doing, let me swap over to this. So let me go, things I'm looking at getting for Ayonic: Shrunken Goblin Skull. I'm looking at getting the Shrunken Goblin Skull earring from Warslick's Woods. Not that hard to get, but I'm probably going to farm it on Dorian. It's a really good junk raid buff. For whatever. I'm also looking at getting a Goblin Gazuki ring, which is for charm breaks. Unfortunately, this is not as useful as the Circlet of Shadows as it would be. Circlet of Shadow. Circlet of Shadow is going to be really great for Kadorian, and Circlet of Shadow performs the same function as, actually a better function. This is actually invisibility, a spammable invisibility. But this will be my charm break on Ayonic, a guaranteed charm break if I'm doing charm kiting. It's going to be a pain to camp, but whatever, you have to get it. The things that I'm planning on getting on Ayonic include a lot of the lambent, not the lambent gear, singing steel gear. So I'm planning on getting the helm for the Eye of Zom. That'll help me out pulling. I plan on getting the gauntlets for enduring breath and the boots. Fortunately, bards, I made this mistake on P99. You don't need to get the Pegasus cloak on bards because this is actually better. The Singing Steel boots, this is actually a targeted buff. It's not just self only like the Pegasus cloak. This can actually be casted on other people as well, which is quite convenient. I don't think its duration is as long. So that will be one thing to keep in mind. Other things I was planning on getting, planning on getting a worker sledge mallet, and that's why I have that jade in my inventory. And what that is the worker's sledge. See if that brings up something. Worker's sledgehammer. Workers. Huh. Weird. Anyways, yeah, there's a quest in over there. If you turn in a jade into this one skeleton guy, and you have good faction, he gives you a hammer that can proc that if you use it, it can proc a port back to the over there, which is pretty convenient. Other things I was looking at getting are some illusions. I was looking at getting the Ixar hide mask, and I was looking at getting the Mask of Obtenebration, which is erudite. And then the last one, I think it's because it's up to date on Classic, on Live, unlike P99, which took forever to put Chardock 2.0 out. There is going to be the the mask that drops in Chardock. It's the halfling one. Chardock. What is the name of? It's dang, I don't know the name of the. Anyways, yeah, there's a mask that drops in Chardock that has that has a halfling illusion, which would actually be quite helpful. Definitely quite helpful. The desiccated halfling mask. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, I think I could probably farm that on Kidorian. I might need his help. So that was the plan gear-wise, and let's talk about spells. I don't think there's really anything else. And the epic, obviously, the epic is doable, which I'll get into. So the spells Bards I'm looking at getting. All of them are pretty useful. Seal Song of Travel being the next run speed, but it has the invisibility built in and levitate. This is Largos Assonant Binding as the next snare and slow, which is really nice. Nilipus March of the Wii is something I need to test, because in P99 this has a shrink, and I need to know absolutely for certain. I think they got rid of the shrink on live, but I never know. The spell might be useful if it has a shrink, but otherwise it's completely useless. 53 is a great level. Finally have a mez up to 55, because on Ayonic I can only mez to 45 right now in Classic era, which is a pain in the butt. Ilia's Chorus is Celerity. That's a really great haste. It's better than the one I have now, which is 30%. This is an AoE snare and run speed. Yeah, snare and attack speed, which is great for power leveling if you're gonna box. Cantana, this is a humongous level. Cantana of Replenishment. This is the first HP and mana regen song that's stacked into one until Velius. This is the only one that bards get until Velius. So this is going to be huge. 55, I have to get there immediately as soon as I can. Song of the High Sun, I've heard some weird mechanics with it, but I've never actually really used it. This is a great level too. 57, McVaxius' Rousing Rondo. This is a haste. It's not as high as you see like Vilius or Chorus Chant of Battle, or whatever that is. Versus a Victory, that's what it is, level 50. It's not as high, but look at this. It's got a damage shield that can be modified by brass. So this is where I can do my damage shield twist to full effect. I can stack 2 damage shields up to about 30 damage. And then really the last thing that's kind of cool is just this invulnerability. This is a slow. I want to check this one, Angslich Assonance, because the problem I'm noticing is with this snare and slow, sometimes it doesn't stack with the Shadow Knight aggro grab ability of their Clinging Darkness. So maybe I could have a slow, but it would stack, and it looks like it's also a dot. And it might be a better slow because of the brass modifier, but we have to see. And invulnerability, obviously, that's going to be at something that's going to always be up on the bar, on my song bar. So let's get into let's get into Ayonic here. So what's the gear I'm rocking as I'm going into Velius? Well, I have, not Velius, into Kunark. So I have all my resist gear and Broodgrant Spalders, Skull Shape Barbiturate for 10. Not Barbiturate, Barboot. For 10 magic resists. I have my resist rings, my face, and neck. And I currently have these equipped on my ears because they're just kind of best in slot, to be honest. And in terms of my clickies, I have J boots, and I also have an Ixar hide. Ixar, not Guise of the Deceiver, I have a Guise. And in terms of instruments, I pretty much have best in slot, except for wind, which really doesn't matter. Yeah, these are my instruments. So this is absolutely best in slot until Velius, I believe. Which is there's a 15 or 2.5 mod. This is best in slot till Vishan's peak. But it's such a pain to get the key that for all intents and purposes it's the easiest to get stringed instrument that has the best modifier without having to do the pain of Vishan's peaking. McVaxius' Horn of War. I think it's better here on live because I think it's a 1.3 mod on P99. Pretty good horn, actually. Pretty good horn. It's going to be really useful at level 57. And just this Minotaur horn, which really doesn't matter at all. The Epic will replace it. In terms of my weapons, I have Orb of Tishan and I have a Martoon Rapier. Orb of Tishan, this is so useful. Tishania is an unresistible magic resist lowering proc on mobs, which is going to be incredibly useful, so that's why I have it always equipped. And the Martoon Rapier is just buff-wise, it's just nice. And let me look into... I have some other stuff. I have these from Plane of Hate, but they're not really that great, to be honest, real stat-wise. Comparatively. So let's talk about the other stuff I have. What am I also going to Kunark with? So I also have my lockpick skill up pretty high, and there's 2 times modifier. My lockpick skill isn't max, but it's good enough for most places. 201 out of 210, yeah. What else do I got? Gear-wise, I am rocking an Executioner's Hood. I have almost all Imbrued Plate Mail gear, except for the helm. I have all plate mail imbued gear. BP is great. The legs are really good. This is one of the best drops. I'm rocking a Belt of Concordance from Sky. And I have a Lambent Bracer with a Imbrued Plate Mail Bracer. I didn't get a Hero Bracer because they're kind of expensive. Cape of the Midnight Mist, which was best in slot as well. This is a really nice piece of gear. Look at the Ice Bear. It's so hard to get a good cloak back in Classic. Embroidered Black Cape. I can't wait to get rid of this and get something better. Didn't win anything in Sky that would be better, but whatever. I'm using this instead of the Plate Mail Gloves because they have 50 mana, which is almost another charm. And not really using the best rings, 45 rings, and I'm using a Runed Bone for resist. So you can obviously see all my stats. So all that really matters is I really have just the best instruments that you could rock with, that you could run with in the beginning of the game, but you know what? We'll see. We'll function. So thank you guys all for watching, and I shall see you in the next video.